Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Mr. LP. I hope you're doing well, and it is Memorial Day 2020. And in this time of COVID-19, we're going to bring you a nice little snack right here. It's a side dish. It is creamy pasta salad. One of the reasons I love cooking is because back in the 70s, I was a paper boy when I was a youngster. And when I turned 16, I was hired at the local diner, country club, restaurant, and diner, to be a dishwasher. Well, I was happy to get away from being a paper boy because, just because you're outside, and I got teased a little bit. So when I got inside, I was so excited to have a job as a dishwasher. Well, most dishwashers weren't. But I was inside. I didn't care that I had to take the slop out of those bus pans and sort the dishes. I was happy to be in, and people were excited for me to be there. Here are my ingredients. Now, the instructions call for it to be boiled for 9 to 11 minutes. For pasta salad, I love to keep the pasta just under the cooking so that it can absorb and have room to absorb the flavors, the oils, the liquids from the actual pasta sauce. So I'm going to pour that in and get ready. While that pasta is cooking, I'm going to chop my onion, my celery, pick my cilantro, and chop my tomatoes. I'll get those all ready and show you. The timer is going, has 7 minutes, and I'll show you it all when we're done. All right, so I'm chopping up the celery. Now I purchased not a stalk of celery, but celery already cleaned, already prepared in stalks. So it just calls for 2 stalks of celery chopped. And there it is. All right, I'm gonna go over and check the pasta just to see, give it a good stir while it's cooking. I'm gonna come back and chop up that red onion. Take off the root, take off the casing. Of course, it only calls for a 1/4 cup of red onion, so I like to be organized and have all my ingredients ready before I prepare the recipe. So there's the red onion all chopped up. I love these little Pyrex bowls to organize all my ingredients and get it all set. All right, celery, onion. The pasta's still boiling, so the next ingredient I'm going to work with is the tomatoes. 1½ cups of grape tomatoes halved. So I'm going to do 1½ cups of grape tomatoes. I love grape tomatoes, so I'm going to fill them in here and then slice them in half for the pasta salad. All right, so now we just slice them up, chop them in half. And there's our pasta. It's ready to be drained, so I'm going to take a minute from the tomatoes. Just check the pasta first. Nice. Drain. And rinse with some cold water so it stops cooking the pasta. And that way it won't be overcooked. Now I'm going to do red pepper. Unfortunately, the guest where I'm taking the pasta salad tomorrow does not like red pepper. But I'm still putting it in. Well, not putting it in, putting it on the side. So red pepper, I just take out the seeds. I've already washed it. And it calls for 1/2 of a red pepper finely chopped. So that's what I'm going to do, chop it up. It says finely chopped, so I'm going to take my strips, chop them down, and then make them a little more fine. With the red pepper. Now I have some nice red pepper. I cleaned off my board, cleaned off my knife. Make sure the pasta is draining, there's no water standing. And now I'm going to work with the cilantro. It calls for 2 tablespoons of finely chopped parsley, but I love the flavor of cilantro a lot better. So I'm gonna add that in. I'm gonna take the leaves, I've already cleaned it off, dried it. So I'm gonna pull off the leaves from the stem. And I used to work at another restaurant, a Pan Asian bistro. And there, they would always have enough cilantro just to garnish the dish. Put a little on top. And this is where I learned to pluck the fresh leaves right from the stem. Here it is. Take off a leaf, and I'm just putting them in a pile for them ready to be finely chopped. This plucking of the leaves off the cilantro does take a little bit of time, so just keep doing it. It's so worth the freshness as opposed to some dried container of spice. Although these are good for certain recipes, when you want a nice fresh pasta salad, you have to use some fresh herbs. It takes a little bit of work. So I finally finished plucking all the leaves off of a bunch of cilantro that I got from the store. If you don't like cilantro, use just fresh parsley in this recipe. If worse comes to worse, you can also use just some parsley in the shaker. Get my tablespoon, and again, I love cilantro, so got one rounded one, two, and yes, like I said, there's about 3. So I'm gonna just put this to the side and save it for a little bit on top. Cleaned off my board, cleaned off my knife once again, and I'm gonna get ready to create the sauce. So the sauce says to whisk together the mayo, the mustard, cider vinegar, and sour cream into a bowl. All right, we have 2/3 cup mayo, tablespoon of Dijon mustard, quarter cup sour cream, this is what's going to make it all creamy, and a tablespoon and a half of apple cider vinegar. Got some organic here. Creates a little bit of acidity in the flavor. Tablespoon and a half. And that we're going to whisk together. Get all of it off my spatula and start to whisk. Boy, that sure is creamy. Our creamy sauce is ready. It's looking amazing. Nice and smooth. Now I'm going to add the pasta. Pasta is nice and dry. We don't want any, if the pasta is wet, the sauce isn't going to stick that much. It's kind of like fall off. So we want to make sure the pasta is nice and well drained. Get rid of my whisk. All right, got all the sauce, cooked macaroni. I'm going to add, it says to add the peppers and tomatoes, but I'm just going to add the tomatoes, celery, red onion. I'm going to mix those up first before adding in our cilantro. Looks so delicious and creamy and kind of fresh. It looks fresh. With the tomatoes and the celery, I'm going to add in the cilantro. Now I have to remember that it's 2 tablespoons, and I have an extra one left on there. This sure does add color, and the fragrance of the cilantro is just pretty cool. Once that's in, I'm going to add some salt and pepper and give it a taste. Again, it's a nice Memorial Day side dish. Burger, fried chicken, hot dogs, whatever you like. Lobster rolls. All right, I'm going to add some salt and pepper to taste. Now, sometimes people like to add cheese cubes, and I've been thinking about it. I bought some cheese. Also, people like to add sweet relish, but I think this one, I might just put cheese in. I'm not sure. I have to see. I might put cheese on the side, like the peppers. A bit of salt. Mix that up. All right, I'm preparing 2 little bowls to taste. It looks so delicious. I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of red pepper on top because I personally love red pepper. Put a little in, put a little in. I'm going to call Keith. Keith, hey, I need my taste tester. A look, there he is with Annie. All right, let me get your spoon.
Where's Annie's bowl?
Annie doesn't get any. She's been licking off the floor. Here you go. I mean, tell me what you think.
Okay.
Oh, I have to feed it to you? Oh, my goodness. All right, you want to get all the celery, the tomato, the red pepper. Tell me if it needs more salt or anything. All right, that's your bowl. Let me taste mine. I haven't even tasted it yet. Usually I love to taste as I'm going along. What do you think? More salt, pepper?
Maybe slightly more pepper. But it's delicious. Anything like it? Amy would love some.
What I don't like about store-bought is the sweetness of store-bought. This has a nice tang from the apple cider vinegar and the tomato. Actually, it's delicious. Add a little more pepper. Cover up the red peppers before I add them in. And this pasta salad, this creamy pasta salad, is ready to go for tomorrow. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share the video. Anyone who likes to cook, and a shout out to my brother because that's where I got this recipe. I got it from his Facebook page.